Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to MCoC Essentials. I'm your host, the Omega Tryhard, and today we're going to be talking about synergies. So let's jump into it. So synergies are essentially just another way to increase the power level of your characters in this game. The way that you do it this time is by team building. So in general, there's a couple different ways that you can team build to make your characters as strong as possible. You can synergize them through Trinities, which are typically three characters that have synergies that work together to make typically one of them specifically gains a lot more bonuses, so they're kind of the anchor character. However, all three of them do get stronger and they're entirely usable in their own. You can use steroid synergies, which are basically synergies that give you stat bonuses, whether that's going to be like percent attack, crit rating, crit damage rating, all that kind of stuff. And then there's solo synergies. So characters like Nick Fury that has synergies activated just by him being on the team, or Guardian, something like that, or even just characters that are good but also just happen to have synergies together. So you might want to bring them just because they're both good and they just bring each other better. There's not any specific purpose for it. It's just a benefit. So let's go ahead and jump into what exactly that looks like. So we're going to start with Trinities. So if I was to put Domino on the team, as you can see, we go through her synergies and she has these two that have the same emblem. So let's just go ahead and put them on the team, right? So as you can see, 2 nodes popped up on Domino and then 2 nodes popped up on Massacre. So if we look at Massacre's, he has one with Red Hulk, which makes him stronger. Red Hulk's stronger because it gives him 2 heat charges at the beginning of the fight, which increases his ramp or decreases his ramp time. And then Massacre, you can gain additional ignites or additional incinerates, whatever. So it makes both of them better. He has another synergy with Domino that makes her debuffs last longer, and then he starts, or whenever his ignitions expire, sorry, I completely forgot how he works for a second. Whenever his bat ignition expires, or at the beginning of the fight, he gains an automatic 1 to 5 ignition charges, which again just decreases his ramp up time. So again, one character has 2 synergies that make the 3 of them a lot stronger. If we look at Domino, she has one with Massacre, where again it's the same thing, just parroted off of his description. And then for this one, she has one with Red Hulk, where Red Hulk, his special 2 doesn't consume 2 heats, it only consumes 1 and then increases the health gained. So it makes Red Hulk stronger. And then Domino, she gains one where her heavy attacks inflicts an incinerate that deals the same damage that her heavy did. So all 3 of the characters get stronger. For Red Hulk and Massacre, it decreases their ramp up time and increases their effectiveness. But Domino specifically gets a lot stronger because 1, she gets a synergy where her debuffs last longer, so that's going to be her bleeds, her parry stuns, and then the incinerate off of this synergy from her heavy attacks. So what that would look like is Domino parries, heavies, and let's say that heavy did a crit for 6,000. That just does 6,000 damage, as well as an additional 6,000 from that incinerate. And then from the Massacre debuff or synergy where the debuffs last a second longer, it's basically going to be a 50% damage increase because it's an incinerate that lasts 2 seconds. So if that 2-second incinerate does 6,000 damage, then an extra second would do half of that, which is 3,000 damage. So her heavy itself did 6,000. The incinerate did another 6,000, bringing it up to 12,000 damage. And then because of the Massacre synergy given an extra second, that extra second does an extra 3,000 damage. So in total, that one crit is going to do a total, or that one heavy is going to do a total of 15,000 damage, which is massive. It's just a way to cheese through the game, and this is just an example of what a Trinity team looks like. As you can see, there's 2 extra slots there, which you can do whatever you want with. You can do steroid stats, which we'll talk about in a moment, to make Domino stronger by increasing her crit rating or attack, block proficiency, whatever it is that you choose. Or if you need bleed immunes or poison immunes, you can fill those gaps in. Whatever it is you need, you have those 2 extra slots. Some other Trinities that you might see are Blade Trinities with Blade, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man Stark. And then the most popular Trinity in the game is the Ghost Trinity, which is Ghost, Ant-Man, and Wasp. In all 3 of them, for instance, the Blade, he's the anchor character. He gets a lot stronger, and his danger sense applies to more characters. But all 3 of the characters become a lot more effective. Ghost Rider, he increases the chance of his judgments placing, and then Spider-Man Stark decreases his ramp up time because he starts the fight with poise charges. The Ghost Trinity, Ghost is your anchor character because she gains percent increase on damage based on every buff that she has, and then she also goes unblockable while phasing in her specials. So again, those are just a couple examples of what Trinities look like, but their basic premise is that there's one anchor character that gets way stronger, but then all 3 of them get a lot stronger in general and are all usable on their own, which again leaves you with 2 extra slots, so it's not as demanding as some other synergies and stuff like that. So next we're going to go into steroid synergies. So what that looks like is, let's say for whatever reason we really like Voodoo. We're going to be only doing a specific quest with Voodoo because he's our strongest, and we're just trying to push through this piece of content, whatever that is, and we want to make Voodoo as strong as possible. Typically, you would start by looking at his specific synergies to see if there's anything unique that would make him stronger by giving him like an additional ability. But for this specific method, typically what you're doing is like farming potions or just auto fighting through lower level content, and you just want your anchor character to be as strong as possible per hit because the content is really easy, so you don't need like special abilities. So what we're going to do is try and make his attack, crit rating, crit damage, all of the offenses more potent. So we're going to look for attack synergies. So if we put in Wolverine, click the little synergy emblem, we can drag in the Cyclops, the red class, I forgot what it's called. Then we can do Magneto as well. But because as you can see here, these aren't labeled as unique, we can just look for a 4-star version of one of them, and then we can bring that one in. So as you can see here, if we go back, we have a bunch of nodes that are activated. So for Wolverine, we have a crit damage and a crit rating. For Cyclops, we have an attack and a crit rating, or a crit damage. Magneto, we have a crit damage and a crit rating, as well as this, but that only affects for Magneto, so again, just another bonus. And then because we have another Magneto, we have another crit damage and another crit rating. So in total, this would be giving everybody in the team like 500 crit rating, 600 crit damage, and then 5% attack. So this is a huge steroid for whatever anchor character that it is you're using, so you can push through that content as quick as possible or farm potions, whatever it is. Again, that's the main focus for this this synergy method, but I guess it's not the only. But since characters basically only have unique synergies at this point and solo synergies, this is kind of outdated. So again, this is mostly for potion farming, but it is an option if there's a specific character that you like playing and you just want them as strong as possible. So the next one that we're going to do are solo synergies and just synergizing a team together just because they're good characters. So solo synergies are synergies like Nick Fury. So this one here, it says all hero champions except Nick gain a 10% attack rating, and if Nick Fury is dead, it's doubled. So this synergy he has, it's a unique synergy, which means it only counts once per team. So even if I have a 6-star Nick Fury, 5-star Nick Fury, 4-star Nick Fury, 3-star Nick Fury, I can have them all on the team, and it's only going to give me a 10% attack rating because it's a unique synergy. It doesn't stack. It's not going to be 40%. So just keep that in mind. And it's a solo synergy because it's activated just by him being on the team. It doesn't require a specific champion to interact with it. It's just him being him, and it applies to everybody. So he's a really strong character to just have on your team at all times, even if you're not going to use him, because it gives him, or gives everybody that's a hero, a attack boost, which heroes are the majority of characters in the game. I think it's something like 125 of the 170 are currently heroes. So yeah, that's what they look like. So he's a good character just to have on your team. Now, let's say Quake. Quake is another really strong character, but if you see, when I bring her on the team, another node activates for him. So let's go look at it. It says, all champions except Nick. If Nick is alive, the first 3 hits thrown by the opponents have a 100% chance to be evaded. This will not trigger while blocking or dashing back. So essentially, this gives you 3 safety nets per fight per champion. So this is huge. This is huge if you're trying to play characters like Star-Lord that have to keep a combo, Aegon, for example, or maybe you're practicing a new character, or you're just not that good at the game. You're beginning, you're a beginner, you're still learning animations, timings, all that kind of stuff. This is a really good synergy team to bring on to the team, because from just Nick Fury, you get a attack rating if you're a hero. And then with this, all characters, not just heroes, gain 3 evades anytime they would be hit. It doesn't count for special attacks, I don't think, but yeah, it gives you a safety net so you can automatically evade. Super strong, but these 2 characters are really strong just by themselves. So it's a good idea to bring them onto the team because they give more benefits in general, but also they're super strong in their own right. Again, that's the whole premise behind this last type of synergy team building, because it's just bringing strong characters together that kind of make each other stronger, and again, just synergize. So another way that looks is, let's find another character with a strong so let's just go back to Blade and Ghost Rider. These are 2 other characters that are just really strong in their own right, but because they're together, they have a synergy. They have a synergy that makes each of them stronger. So if I was going to bring Blade into a quest, right? Let's just say I'm bringing Blade. This is the team that I have right now. I'm automatically going to think, well, since I'm bringing Blade, would it be worth just bringing Ghost Rider? Because Ghost Rider makes Blade a lot stronger, but Ghost Rider is also a really strong character. So again, that's just another thought process, and this is probably the most common and most powerful way to build teams, because it's not focused around just one specific character like the other 2. So for Steroids, you're trying to amp up a single character by giving them a bunch of attack or a bunch of crit damage or a bunch of crit rating. For the Trinity, yeah, it's going to be 3 characters that all get a lot stronger and all are usable, but it's mainly focused around making a single character super, super, super strong, leaving you only 2 very flexible holes onto your team. So this way, you have 5 slots, and they're all just really powerful, really strong characters, but also have really strong interactions. So if we're looking at just this team right here, Nick Fury is giving a 10% attack boost to all of these characters because they're all heroes. All of them have 3 hits that they would evade per fight, which means they're most likely, I have an additional safety net to save health, save potions, all that kind of stuff. Blade just gets a lot stronger because he has Danger Sense active on all villains, not just dimensional beings, and it can't be reduced by ability accuracy reduction like nodes or immunities. So characters like Mysterio, they can still have their ability accuracy reduced because this makes it so those immunities are just null and void. Ghost Rider also has a higher chance to place his judgments, which if you play Ghost Rider a lot is the most annoying part of him because sometimes his judgments don't proc, which is what all of his abilities go off of. So just this team right here is super strong, and each character is super strong, but then their synergies are also super strong. So I feel like I just repeated myself 3 or 4 times there, but I really want to push the fact that this is probably the way that you should be building all of your teams, because it's not focusing around a single character, but making a bunch of characters very strong. So as you can see here, I still have a 4th slot that I can slot anybody into. So if I needed somebody that does nullifications, I can bring him. If I need more immunities, I can bring Emma Frost. If I'm looking for more, more just general utility synergies, I can start looking here and let's say, there you go, I can put this one. So now all of the champions on my team also get a crit damage buff for the first 10 seconds of a fight. So with this team, all of them are usable. Again, all of them are usable, all of them are really strong, and then all of them gain benefits. So yeah, hopefully that pushed the message that this is the way that you want to synergize, and hopefully you guys understand how synergies work. If you guys don't, if there's anything I missed, anything you want me to go more in depth of, feel free to leave comments below asking for whatever information it is that you need. But I would also recommend everybody go to Aunt May, which is going to be this site right here, which is just auntm.ai. No .com, no www, just auntm.ai. With this site, you can look up all character or all champion information from their abilities, prestige, all that kind of stuff. But if you see at the top right there, there's something that says synergy. You can go up there and you can look up all synergies in the game. So if you just want to see all synergies that go with Nick Fury, you just click that, type in Nick Fury, and it'll show you all of Nick Fury's synergies as well as anybody that interacts with Nick Fury. So this website, auntm.ai, commonly referred to as Aunt May, is a gold mine for MCoC information. MCoC information on in-depth champion stuff. So if you want to see the difference on how much Dr. Voodoo's ability scales from signature 100 to sig 200, you can go in and select those different signature levels and see just how much each one would increase his abilities. All that kind of stuff, their health per rank, attack per rank, everything that you need about champions is in this website. Utilize this website as much as possible, especially for synergies. I use it every day, and hopefully you will too. Hopefully even more, this video helped you guys out. Again, if it didn't, leave any information I missed in the comments below, but I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.